wasn't the sharpest thing in the world. Well, that should be something. I believe you can hear me. I believe. Hello? That's mute. All right. I believe you can hear me. Chat on. Okay. So chat live is go. Hello. And alrighty then. Well, I guess that's it. Just wait for somebody to show up and start chatting. Anyway, today is the Great Purge, so I am utilizing this newfangled thing. Oh, dear me. I know, it's a lot, ain't it? Let's see. I think you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know. I know you can see me. So that's something. But now, let's get some music going. Podcast.
There'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and see crap. It used to be you would go home at the end of the day. Most people would go, oh, Cheers is on. Oh, MASH is on. Oh, Mary Tyler Moore is on. All in the Family's on. You just expected. There'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and see crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Greetings, you over 1 million connoisseurs of common sense. Thank you for your attention. And the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Let's talk about woke Hollywood again. Instead of recapping the latest series of events that's led to the latest disaster, let's just keep things simple. Hollywood got woke, got broken, decided not to work, and then went broke. Don't believe me? Let's check with Hollywood. Another box office existential crisis ahead as Hollywood rethinks what makes a hit. Newsweek, Hollywood faces dramatic twist in 2024 box office. Reuters, the great contraction hits Hollywood. Bloomberg, is there any hope for Hollywood? Time, the Oscars were glorious. Really, but there's a storm brewing in Hollywood. New York Times, how bad can it get for Hollywood? I'm scared. Why it's a brutal time to be a TV writer in Hollywood. Almost everyone in Hollywood wants to get back to work. What's taking so long? Harper's Magazine, the life and death of Hollywood. Variety, Jerry Seinfeld says the movie business is over in Hollywood. And that's just a handful of articles from the last 4 months. You up to speed? Good, because we are well into post-apocalyptic woke Hollywood. Over the last few years, I've seen recall a lot of us say that this Hollywood end in a hand. As it's recovering dramatically. I'm very familiar with the defense mechanisms we're about to hear, which include, but are not limited to, denial, rationalization, and projection, if memory industry serves. A lot of people within the industry, including a lot of comedians, were warning that this whole PC thing is a bit of a slippery slope. And one of the biggest warning signs that Tinseltown's ecosystem was about to collapse is how it affected comedy. It used to be you would go home at the end of the day, most people would go, oh, Cheers is on, oh,
Track
MASH is
you.
on, Mary Tyler Moore is
The
on,
paper, not
All
the
the Family's on.
thing.
You just expected there'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Now, that correct and obvious statement blew up across the internet over the last 72 hours. To state the obvious, the reason it's being cheered on across the internet is because people within the industry to call out the industry if anything's going to change. But it also led to comedy aficionado Stuart Heritage, pictured here in The Guardian, to retort. Jerry Seinfeld, the extreme left, has it killed comedy? The comedians claim that wokeness is the reason why comedy is no longer as funny as lately. I can hear you now. What makes Stuart think he knows more about comedy than the man who's accumulated over $1 billion of personal wealth in his comedy? Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Okay, maybe they'll throw some data at us, lay down some stats, or go over some analytics. Well, unsurprisingly, within this 10-paragraph article that devolves into a personal attack on Jerry Seinfeld, including saying Stuart fails to make a single argument against the extreme left killing comedy. Now, he does bring up Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then conveniently leaves out Jerry's response to that. Yeah, Larry was grandfathered in. He's old enough that I don't have to observe those rules because I started before you made those rules. So the same could be said for shows like South Park and Always Sunny. Why you look so stupid? I'll just stand. Riverside! What's going on? Some kind of gay pride rally. What the hell, dude? That's not a digital sports watch. Hey, it looks like one of those gifts for Opie. What's your name, dude? I think he said his name is Marvin. Yeah, got it, Marvin. But I have an example that comedy has been completely murdered in Hollywood, and all I had to do was a simple Google search. Anyone But You, a very mid-rom-com released last Christmas. I can think of a couple of reasons why it was successful. Nice rack. Was the first comedy to pass the 200 million mark in 5 years, and the first rated R comedy to pass that mark in almost 8 years. And if you want to get more depressed, that rated R comedy from 2016 was Bridget Jones' Baby. Fortunately, these facts will not stop what the kids call these days, or maybe that's just us old guys now. Jerry Seinfeld is on the New York Radio Hour blaming the extreme left and tasting crap for why there are no sitcoms anymore. Not just figures or a systematic reason that was just play out with the WG Easter egg and oh, we'll get to that. Just the books don't let us make comedy anymore. Absolute brainwash. Then riddle me this. Why did old shows that have been off the air for almost a decade dominate the streaming charts last year, including old sitcoms like Seinfeld? And this reminds me of what director Todd Phillips said back in 2019. The filmmaker was talking about why he chose to move from broad comedies to something as dark as The Joker. Turns out, he just couldn't hang with the current culture, or the lack thereof. Go try to be funny nowadays with this woke culture. Phillips told Vanity Fair there were articles written about why comedies don't work anymore. I'll tell you why. Because all the funny guys are like, because I don't want to offend you. Now the lack of sitcoms or any hard R comedies in Hollywood really encapsulates the bigger problem. It's just one of many aspects of your industry that you either abandon or broke. Now that I come to think of it, a lot of us were saying that after you broke your model, you would be in competition with yourself and the audience. That's not going to be good for business. And now it's happening. Hollywood is running out of time to fix a broken business model. The strikes that shut down Hollywood studios for most of last year didn't recalibrate the entertainment market. They exposed its biggest vulnerability. The business is broken. And as far as competing against itself, Judd Apatow says Netflix licensing HBO shows is a scary thing. You'll get Fewer new shows because it's cheaper and because the older shows are better. And as far as the audience is concerned, why Hollywood should be terrified of YouTube, not Netflix.
There is now a completely different set of rules that goes into how we decide. If you and I and everybody else in this room wanted to be entertained for free for the rest of the month, we couldn't. YouTube wouldn't have anything else in this part of the show. That's free.
That brings to mind another problem. Hey, you remember those beloved franchises that you paid millions of dollars for those built-in audiences that you decided to piss off and blame for your mistakes? Well, we tried to warn you.
You've managed to piss off every single one. That was the plan. Not a great plan.
And now there's a graveyard filled with franchises in various stages of failed reanimation, including but not limited to Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, the DCEU, The Witcher, Willow, Wheel of Time, National Treasure, Halo, Ghostbusters, Terminator, and The Rings of Power. But let's just pick the latest, Disney Marvel. Now that we're 5 years into the MCU, the general audience is completely sick of it, but apparently Disney Marvel isn't. And now that it's safe to criticize Disney, there's no shortage of articles lamenting Marvel's failure. Big difference is they're not saying you're toxic. This time, no, they're just saying you're retarded. Avengers directors say Marvel's recent problems aren't due to superhero fatigue, but a big generational divide about how you consume media. We're gonna wait. Let's hear what they have to say. Marvel had a rough 2023 with 2 flops: Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and The Marvels. Speaking recently to Games Radar, the director said that Marvel's current issues boil down to the changes in how people absorb media. It's a Hollywood-wide issue, not just a Marvel one. There I agree. Joe Russo said, I think we're in a transitional period. You ain't lying. People don't know quite yet how they're going to receive stories moving forward, or what kind of stories they're going to want. No, the audience wants the same stories they've always wanted. Good ones, and you are not providing it. By the way, that's the royal you. Joe Russo noted that the new generation of moviegoers communicates largely through memes and headlines. And I think this next generation is looking for ways to tell their own stories and service their own sort of collective ADHD. Our good friend the Medical Team had the best response to this. Dr. Ray Bob released in May 2022, made $955 million, and Ant 3 released in February 2023. Made $476 million, and Marvels, released in November 2023, made $206 million. By the way, all 3 of those films combined budgets equaled 75 Godzilla minus one. And yes, that should be the unit of measurement for every Hollywood budget from here on out. I don't think you can cram a whole big generational divide thing into 18 months. And it didn't hurt Barbie, Mario, or Guardians 3. If the reasoning is, but the youngs just want to stream everything these days, then why have all the streaming shows bombed? And on the fan attack thing, it's probably not a good idea that She-Hulk star Tatiana Maslany is still out there calling Marvel fans sexist. Anthony Russo told Games Radar the superhero fatigue has nothing to do with superheroes in particular. It's just fatigue in general. You're
A lot of stuff still
absolutely right.
left.
It's an overall fatigue. Bad writing fatigue, bad acting fatigue, bad producing fatigue, bad directing fatigue, bad CGI fatigue, bad catering fatigue, all fueling
Catering fatigue?
Hollywood fatigue. Oh, and there's a marinara-sized divide, but it's not generational. It's between the audience and Hollywood. It is really huge. Or you could just keep blaming attention spans, although Dune Part 2 was a hit with a running time of 2 hours and 46 minutes, and Oppenheimer was a hit with a running time of 3 hours. And let's not forget that everybody stopped worrying about COVID overnight when Spider-Man No Way Home came out. Which reminds me, as far as I can recall, a lot of us were reminding you that this would lead to lower ticket sales, which has happened. Box office winter grosses hit alarming lows. Concerns that domestic revenue would decline as major studio titles were delayed to 2025 were not unfounded. I also have a vague recollection of a lot of us warning Hollywood that with all these problems, it probably wasn't a good idea to go on strike. That's a shame. And it would end up leading to contraction and the great Hollywood purge, and now it's happening. Well, looky here. WGA strike, 1 year later. Writers face a different sort of crisis.
Who could have seen this coming?
The Writers Guild of America called a strike 1 year ago today at time of recording, declaring that the streaming boom had created an existential crisis for writers, one that writers participated in. The WGA got most of what it wanted from the strike, though it took almost 5 months for the studios and the streamers to come around. But as the boom has gone bust, writers now face a different kind of crisis. For most, it's harder to find work. Yeah, no shit. And there's surprising statements in this article like, there's less being made, or the contraction was already underway before the WGA and the Film Actors Guild went on strike. But not to worry, writers who are working are already seeing the increase in their paychecks. This brings us back to the beginning of the video. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of us said that Hollywood as we knew it is over, and that's happening. Back to Jerry Seinfeld, the movie business is over, and film doesn't occupy the pinnacle in the cultural hierarchy anymore. Disorientation replaced it. And things are so bad, there's a 48-minute read article in Harper's Magazine titled The Life and Death of Hollywood. Film and television writers face an existential threat. I'll sum it up for you. They're fucked. We are fucked. But it's not like the access media isn't trying to offer up some solutions. The Harper's article asks, what is to be done? The most direct solution would be government intervention. The government could also increase competition directly by funding more public film and television. And it would establish a universal basic income for artists and writers.
No offense, but it sounds like that's some commie gobbledygook.
Or maybe Hollywood isn't woke enough. Hollywood forfeits up to $30 billion every year because of racial inequity. Over 3 reports, McKinsey, the same one that's connected to Enron, has tallied up the entertainment industry's opportunity cost of continuing to diminish Black, Latino, and Asian Pacific Islander colleagues and audiences.
It's easy, you are.
That's offensive.
It's not!
Now, I definitely remember a lot of us, for years, warning Hollywood about the one thing the mainstream access media will not write articles on. The foundation of sand this was all built on. The slavish and now contractually obligated adherence to the message.
This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Now they're going to see stand-up comics because we are not policed by anyone. The audience polices us. We know when we're off track. We know instantly, and we adjust to it instantly. But when you write a script and it goes into 4 or 5 different hands, committees, groups, here's our thought about this joke, well, that's the end of your comedy.
And with what Seinfeld just said right there, you could replace the word comedy with TV show, film, or industry. But let's look on the bright side. 2024 won't be as bad as the year of the flopbuster where Disney dominated with 4 of the 5 biggest bombs of 2023. Because thanks to the strike, while there still will be some crap, there won't be as much of it. And maybe the adult pretenders who work in Hollywood won't put out fire with gasoline by repeating the same cringe from the last election year. Never mind. Now, as what's left of whoever's working in Hollywood and the audience emerges from their bomb shelters to wander the post-apocalyptic woke Hollywood wasteland, that's current year, yes, we will find the occasional Oasis,
2011.
Gentlemen, or House of the Dragon, or Dune Part 2. But unfortunately, those will be brief, yet very welcome interruptions between avoiding holdovers like
The American Society of Magical Negroes
and mutant zombie franchises like Madam Web and Velma. That'll make everyone want to go back to the
Which has a
park.
season 2, by the
At
way.
least the audience has the opportunity to take the advice of new Disney's Doctor Who star Shooty Gatwa and touch grass.
Ergorotic.com.
If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't
June 23rd, 2011. My goodness. City of Cyprus. Please inform me that you have successfully passed the oral interview component of the examination process for the position of maintenance attendant. I'm a Los Angeles 9, 2013. 7 years old, very old. Which tech? What the hell is that? LED specialist. If anything before COVID, it's probably not even around anymore. Huh. Well, this didn't expire. Expired. Oh, activated. Although, it's still ongoing. I guess it's still good as long as there's a Seas Candy. Still void. It's still valid. Union test 2014. Yeah, I don't need this anymore. It's not even this vehicle anymore. It's a Kia. And there's this. This is where we used to, Long Beach State, whatever college, where we used to park cars. Did that for like a year. Insurance card on what? Wait, what year is this? Kia Sophia. Yeah, that's a 2001 Kia Sophia. 2013. That must be the, yeah, whatever. This is registration card 2000. Just going through some stress. So I gotta tell you, going through all this stuff is something I should have done a long time ago. This is all this old stuff, like smog checks from like 10 years ago. Why do I still have this? Doesn't mean anything. Certification, DMV. Term driver's license, 2019. Don't need that anymore. Costco, Ameriprise, yes. My thing, which is dated 2018 to 2019. Again, they changed hands since then. Everything changes. Go through everything. Let's see. I put on something that says enlightening.
Like they're making new, and then like when Warner years ago. They can't get past the fact about you, but your other one and stuff. It's just like down the toilet, and even when you block them, is that what the fuck? Seems like they're out talking to someone from the
He's having a bit of a bad day.
Tomorrow, I think, on the D-Res podcast, which will go up later this week, and try to get his perspective.
Next week.
Or next week, yeah.
We're on Saturday. It all blurs together.
It all blurs together.
Go next week.
But yeah, usually Wednesdays. But it feels like there's something going on here.
Oh, there's definitely something going on here.
And,
for sure.
I really believe that Warner Brothers does not want to be in the animation industry anymore. They don't want to be in the business of it anymore. They keep canceling stuff. Coyote versus Acme, they canceled.
That's okay to my mind. Everybody says how good it is, and it would be like, why would you not put it out?
Right.
You put out other stuff that was like, you put out The Flash, but you won't put out that.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And it's just, they're not really announcing much of anything for Cartoon Network that I'm aware of. Again, they got rid of their building. Adult Swim, I know they delisted a bunch, and we'll talk about that. They delisted like all the games from the App Store, all the Adult Swim games that have been around for years. So many things are pointing to we're in the end stage of Cartoon Network as we've known it. And this just is another nail in the coffin for me. Because as exciting as this is, I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, MeTV, which, a lot of people are watching MeTV because it's free, set, with an antenna. But this is Cartoon Network. This sounds just like what Cartoon Network was, except they don't have the new stuff.
Well, yeah, it sounds like Boomerang.
Yeah,
But that Boomerang basically was what I liked. I actually prefer Boomerang to Cartoon Network. But yeah, so let's we'll talk about this, and we'll talk a little bit about Adult Swim. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So this was announced yesterday on Cartoon Brew. This is called the MeTV Toons Network, a free channel dedicated to classic animation. Again, all of these shows were shows that were at one point on Cartoon Network and or Boomerang. So it's going to be a 24/7 animation network dedicated exclusively to classic animation, from theatrical animation shorts to TV series. That sounds familiar. They said that they're getting Warner Brothers Discovery's library, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Josie and the Pussycats, Jetsons, Top Cat, Popeye, Freakazoid was actually really good, Yogi Bear, Johnny Quest, Flintstones. Warner Brothers calls Weagle, I guess this is the MeTV people, one of the long-standing and innovative licensing partners. They're going to additionally license cartoons from other companies, including Rocky and Bullwinkle, Casper, old stuff. Betty Boop, Speed Race, or whatever. They're also going to try to get some other, classic Universal stuff in or whatever, but so did Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network actually had it was mostly Warner Brothers stuff, mostly Hanna-Barbera stuff or whatever, but they also had other cartoons. So they said this is the presentation they had. They said there's a lot planned, more than you see right now. Not only classic cartoons and classic characters, but shows and series and shorts that haven't been seen in 20. This is actually exciting for me. Shows and series and shorts that haven't been seen in 25, 30, 40, 50 years are going to make their re-debut on this channel. For people like me, Cartoonaholics, this guy running it, it's going to blow your mind. It launches in June. And I'm telling you, this is the replacement for Cartoon Network. You just don't know it yet.
Well, did you see above that, though? First of all, they said that this Cartoon Brew co-founder, Jerry Beck, was going to help produce original content.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And they said another key hire is veteran voice actor Bob Bergen, who's going to, did Porky Pig Tweety, like that. He's going to serve as a signature voice of the network. But they said also, interestingly enough, that they're talking about popularity of it right now. They said the animation block, Saturday morning animation block on the existing Me Too channel, the fourth quarter of 2023, that cartoon block outperformed Seinfeld, The Office on Comedy Central, Law and Order on USA, and Friends at Nick at Night. Is that assuming back in the day?
I don't know. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, so they're trying to say that that's like it's really popular because it must have been
boring,
the
ain't it?
reruns are showing now and they're outperforming them. I mean, they're not outperforming us on streaming services or anything like that. So I mean, it's apples to oranges, honestly. But they're saying it's popular enough.
Yeah, it is Jerry Beck. That's right. He was the co-founder of Cartoon Brew, so it makes sense they're announcing it here. But like looking at everything that's going on, they just shut down Rooster Teeth, Warner Brothers. They are, Crunchyroll, they sold it to Sony. Cartoon Network is in shambles. They closed the offices. People actually scanned the stairwell because they used to do drawings in the stairwell. They scanned it to keep it, but to the best of my knowledge, they're not really announcing any new shows. You've got showrunners like Rebecca Sugar out there, like hawking her music CDs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are making comments like, we're not getting any work. Nobody's greenlighting anything. Because again, the free money has run out. The streamers spend a lot of money on animation. It's expensive. They're not getting a return on it. And so this conversation came up a couple of weeks ago when they were trying to drag out Space Ghost Coast to Coast again. And they said that, the people that worked on those shows did not get paid very much. And, Martin Croker died in poverty. And the creator is currently an Amazon delivery driver. That's how and we know that this is kind of the case because we talked about the voice actors from Aqua Teen Hunger Force and how Frylock was treated very badly compared to his agented, gilded up peers. But even then, most of these guys are not making money.
Anyway, let's end this.
And,
Nothing's happening right now.
So
Sorry.
I really get the feeling that something's going on. I think a lot of people in the animation industry, and I might get some more